Christmas has been good to you with some fishing gear. Hopefully we're going to see you out on the water in the next couple of days. Beat the Rockide closure.
Well, for sure. Well, I know a lot of you have been waiting, and we've been hyping it up on our Facebook as well as on Twitter and everything else we do. The great Henry Winkler, the Fonz, is on the line to join us here tonight. And I'll tell you what, it is such an honor and a pleasure. He's written a brand new book called Ive Never Met, an Idiot on the River. And Henry, it is such a pleasure to welcome you to the show. Good evening to you.
Well, I'm very happy to be here. Now I got to tell you, I was just listening, and I'm hoping that Hanukkah is going to be very good to me, and I'm going to get some fishing gear.
Well, you for sure deserve it because you're going to put it to very, very good use. And let me just start out with the title of your book. I've Never Met an Idiot on the River. Boy, you ought to come in this studio if you want to meet a couple of idiots. I'll tell you that right now.
Well, I don't believe that to be true, but I will say that every fly fisher person I have ever met, they are just wonderful souls. Men, women, children. So that's where I got the title, because on that river, fly fishing for trout, I have never met someone who was not just a pleasure to chat with.
Henry, I think I know what you mean. Very conservation-minded types of folks, very, very aware of the environment, treat it with the care and love and respect that it deserves, mostly catch and release. That's the kind of thing you're talking about, am I right?
Absolutely, and also, except for my son, very quiet, very peaceful, very friendly people who are willing to share what fly works, where they caught the fish, what's happening, what river is hot. I've had the most wonderful time fly fishing for trout.
Henry, have you ever run into, and I know there's a little conflict and a little thing going on between the fly fishing guys and the bait fishermen. You know, some of those bait fishermen are leaving their beer cans there and they're taking limits of fish. Have you ever met somebody you would call an idiot on the bait fishing side of that?
Well, you know what? I've only seen them go by in boats when they have used their spinning rods, their lures. I've seen them drinking the beer. I've never actually seen them throw the beer overboard. So I absolutely can't say that yet. But the man who introduced me to fly fishing, Skip Brittenham III, we're going to Argentina for the first time.
Wow, that's going to be great, I imagine.
I'm so excited. In February, he has gone many times before, and he tells me about these fish. Now, I've caught them, and they are 3 to 4 pounds. He talks about 30 pounds.
Oh, my God, that is going to be something. We are talking to the great Henry Winkler, the Fonz. He's written a new fly fishing book, everybody. It's called I've Never Met an Idiot on the River. Henry, how can we get a hold of that book, by the way, while we're talking?
My instinct is that you can get it probably Amazon.com. I don't know. Barnes & Noble might carry it, but I certainly know that it's on Amazon.com.
Favorite spots to fish? Where are they, Henry?
Well, unfortunately, the greatest thing about being a celebrity is that, fly fishing the world took me to Montana, took me to New Zealand, but I went to New Zealand at the wrong time of year. So at the moment, my favorite place is Montana.
And Henry, I've said this for many, many years, and it seems like you're echoing what I truly believe. You know, one great thing about fishing is the places it takes you to. My God, some of the most beautiful places on the face of this earth.
Well, it's true, and I say all the time that fly fishing is like a washing machine for your brain. You know, whatever is bothering you, whatever problem you have, you get on the river, you approach the river, you stand in the river, and it is washed away for that moment in time.
Man, is that so true? I think it's true of most fishing, you know, whether it's saltwater fishing. I take my kids. we do a youth program, and I know, and we'll get into it in a moment with you, I know how highly involved you are with children, your love for children, and you do so much. But we have a youth program with our Philip Friedman Outdoors, and we've taken over 75,000 kids out on the water.
Holy moly.
And, Henry, I tell you can see it from the time the kids approach the boat and from the time they get on the boat, and then when they leave an entirely different being, if you know what I mean.
I do. It is amazing to me, year after year. It is brand new. It is fresh. I eat time in order to get back to the river. You know, my year is very busy, and I am very grateful for that. But I long to be on the river to fish for trout.
You know, and I have talked to a lot of people. We just had a gentleman on right before you came on, an actor who was actually trying out for when Happy Days was first coming on. He said you wouldn't remember him, but one thing he said about you, and it's obvious in this short conversation that I've had with you, he said that you were one of the nicest human beings he'd ever met. And no matter how high you climbed up in Hollywood, and you've been in this business a long time, it says a lot about you. I know you went to Yale. You're an intelligent guy, but you're a very well-grounded, down-to-earth, nice human being, and that certainly comes across in this interview also.
Well, thank you, but I have to say, one is being a parent. Children will ground you like an anchor. Number two, I think that it has to do also with the sport. You know, it is so zen. It is so beautiful. It's so delicious. You could have the worst sandwich in the world, and by the time you get to lunch on the river, it is the best tasting thing you've ever had.
Oh, you're so right. I've never met an idiot on the river, Henry Winkler. You've got to take a look at that on Amazon.com. Henry, funniest, most comical thing to happen to you while fly fishing. Anything come to mind?
You know, I would have to say that watching my guide's eyes when my son Max, who is now 28, and he was about 9 or 10, he was in the front of the boat. He had on his earphones. I could not get this young man to pick up a rod, but he was listening to music. He turned to the guide. He said, "Oh, you know what? I'm really hungry." The guide made a mistake and gave him a fun-sized Snickers. My son, 20 minutes later, stood up and sang the entire score of Les Miserables to the river, to the moose, to the fish. My guide's eyes were like those slinky eyes, you know, on the those fake eyeglasses. They just kept flipping out of his head. He couldn't believe what he was seeing.
Oh my God! Have you ever done any saltwater fly fishing?
Well, I have, but it makes me vomit.
Oh, you get seasick.
So what happens, you know, I always think you go out 5 miles in order to catch those fish, and then you must come back those 5 miles. And the sea somehow is never flat when I'm on that boat.
You know, you remind me of a guy, Brian Shaw was the assistant coach for the LA Lakers. He's in Indiana now. And Brian used to go fishing. He loves freshwater fishing, Henry. He just loves the whole thing. And he reminds me a lot of you. He's got it in his heart and his soul. But, boy, I'll tell you, get him out on the water. And we made a trip to Catalina. And Brian managed to catch a 50-pound white sea bass, an enormous white sea bass for his first time. But, oh, my God, the poor guy. He was miserable all the way to Catalina. And it was rough and miserable all the way back. And my father used to be prone to seasickness. So I know exactly what you mean. And there's no worse feeling in the world, is there?
And you can't get off. There is no way for you to get out of that situation until you dock, and then you rock for the next few hours. So I leave that to other people, and I just have the most wonderful time on the river.
Henry, would you mind if we took a break and then just came back and finished up with a couple more minutes with you? Would that be okay?
You know what? It would be my pleasure. I'm having a great time.
Well, we are totally enjoying this. It's an honor to have Henry Winkler on the show with us, everybody. The Fonz, I've Never Met an Idiot on the River. It's a great read. I know you're going to love it. We'll be back with Henry in just a moment. It is Philip Friedman Outdoors Radio here live from Angel Stadium, Sports Radio, AM 830 KLAA. Back with Henry Winkler in just a moment. You there?
Monday, happy days. Tuesday, Wednesday, happy days. Thursday,
And welcome back, everybody. It is Fish Talk Radio with Philip Friedman Outdoors, live from Angel Stadium, Sports Radio, AM 830 KLAA. And on the line with us is the great Henry Winkler. Henry has just written a brand new fly fishing book called I've Never Met an Idiot on the River. Henry, welcome back to the show.
Thank you. You know, the book started originally as a book of photographs when I was in Wyoming. I bought a photograph, and I thought, can I ever take a photograph that I would like to put up on the wall and not pay somebody else?
Uh-huh.
And so that's how the book started, and then the anecdotes of what I've learned from fly fishing over the years started to come out, and then there it is. It's my first adult book.
Give us one of those, and you've written a myriad of children's books. I know that. I think, up to 17 books now?
Yes, there are 17 Hank Zipsers, and in January, a brand new series is coming out called Ghost Buddy that I write with my partner, Lynn Oliver.
Excellent. We'll be looking forward to that. What you talk about the lessons that fly fishing has taught you and presumably can teach all of us. What are one of those lessons?
One of them was I never thought I could fly fish. I always thought, because I'm dyslexic, I always thought that fishing was going to be too complicated. I would never get the rhythm down. I just wouldn't do it. I was invited to go by Skip, who is taking me to Argentina. And I now mourn the time that I have not fished, that I wouldn't fish. And what I realized is you don't know what you're capable of unless you actually try it. You know, there's a great expression that you're not going to catch a fish unless your fly is in the water.
Yes.
You're not going to know what you're capable of unless you just step out and try and not allow the fear or the intimidation to make you inert, to just stop you.
And that is a lesson that is applicable to so many different situations in
It's
life.
true.
Is it not, Henry?
Yes, absolutely. I mean, I use it in every part of my world. The other lesson is anything that can go wrong will go wrong.
I can attest to that.
You know, and so it teaches you an amazing amount of patience, you know, which you can then use as a parent. You can use in business. You can use waiting for the train that is late.
That is so true. Talking to Henry Winkler, the Fonz. He's written a new book, I've Never Met an Idiot on the River. A great read for you all. Henry, Captain Larry Moore is part of the Fish Talk Radio staff. He's got a question for you. Go ahead, Larry.
Hey, good evening, Henry. Thank you
Larry.
so much for being with us tonight. Hey, you know, I always admired fly fishing. I mean, I come from sport boats on the ocean where you don't want to go to get sick. But, you know, I always admired the finesse that you have to use fly fishing. I'm not very well at it. I went before and I lost every fly that my partner brought out in about a half hour. But, you know, I watch you guys matching the hatch, the type of bugs that are hatching at the time, and just all the scientific part of it, trying to imitate nature.
Yeah.
And that's just amazing to me. And you know what? The other thing, Philip said, ask him a question. We're always into how big a fish have you ever caught? And I'm just wondering, you know, what's your record so far?
All right, the biggest salmon that I ever caught, 2 hours north of Vancouver, was 42 pounds. It was like holding a small child.
And that was on a fly?
That was not on a fly. The biggest fish that I caught on a fly was 2 years ago. The picture is in the book, and it was 26 inches, 25 inches, and about 2.5 pounds, 3 pounds outside of the Yellowstone Park.
Wow, that's amazing. I look forward to trying that sometime.
But let me tell you, Larry, you can learn the cast in about a half an hour, and then you perfect it for the rest of your life. You know, everybody has to learn that finesse, and then you get better and better and better.
You better give Larry at least 45 minutes. I know him, Henry. Let me tell you, at least 45, 50. We have also with us tonight Mensa Man. You know what Mensa is, don't you?
I do.
Well, yes, and
Something
Will.
I'm not part of.
Yeah,
Go ahead and ask
me
him a
either.
question.
I'm very far from that. But Will Eversman brags about the fact that he's in the what is it, Will? What's your IQ? Do you want to tell Henry?
Not really.
Henry
but,
went to Yale, so I wouldn't fool around too much with him.
Nah.
Go ahead. You have a question.
Actually,
for
Henry, yeah. I was curious. What's your favorite outfit? Do you have a particular brand? What weight are you most comfortable with using for a rig?
Okay. The very first rod that I ever got was a Winston. I met David Ondaatje, who owns the Winston Rod Company. I've had it now for, I would say, 15 years, the same rod. I use an Orvis reel, and it's a 9 for 6.
Okay. My mother was from Vermont, so I'm glad to see you're an avid Orvis user. So
I am. As a matter of fact, and Sims. Well, my boots and my rain gear and my waders come from Sims.
Henry, what lessons, and I know you work with children, you do a lot of charity for children. What can children learn from fly fishing?
Well, that's an amazing thing. They can learn an inner quiet. They can learn concentration. They can learn focus. They can learn triumph. They can learn the defeat of bringing that fish so close to that boat, and for some reason it gets off the fly, or it gets snagged and it breaks off, or you were so close and boom, it's gone. Or sometimes you never get to see what you are sure is a monster of a fish just under the surface, and it's gone.
So many great lessons, no question about it. Hey, do you ever see anybody from the Happy Days crew anymore?
All the
Are you
time.
friends? Are you
all the time?
Ron Howard, I imagine? Or?
Well, Ron is now making a movie, so once in a while we Twitter each other. I phone him and just check in on him. I talk to Marion Ross all the time. I see Don Most and Anson Williams, Aaron Moran, and of course we lost Tom Bosley.
Yes.
But we saw each other. So we were an incredibly tight cast. We played softball together. We did a show together, and we played charades together, actually.
Well, Henry, I must tell you, just from this interview, you are a gracious, amazing human being. I've learned
Thank
a lot.
you.
I cannot wait to read the book.
Well, hopefully it'll make you laugh.
Well, I think it will, but I also think that, should I use the word didactic? I better not. Mensa Man might get up. I know there's a lot of lessons in there. I know there are just from talking to you, and I can hear it. It comes through the airwaves here at AM 830, just what a special person you are. I thank you for all the good work you're doing with children out there. And Henry, I thank you for taking the time to be a part of Fish Talk Radio with Philip Friedman Outdoors. And I
Well,
sincerely,
you know what? I thank you so much for inviting me.
well,
And have the most wonderful holiday.
the same to you. And I sincerely hope that all of us here, Will, Larry, myself, get to wet a line with you sometime very, very soon. I've never met an idiot on the river. Amazon.com. Make sure you pick up Henry Winkler's book. It's a perfect Christmas gift. And once again, Henry, thank you so very much for being part of the show.
A pleasure. Thank you.
All right. Gosh darn, Larry and Will, I don't know what to say other than that is one fine human being.
The Fonz. A. Oh, we didn't get him to say A.
I wasn't going to do
Is
that
he
to
still
him.
here? Oh, man.
Will, what do you think?